We're rolling. It's a garden tour today, guys. It's May 23rd. It's Saturday, 2020. And I wanted to share with you what I've done in my garden since I started it. So I'm going to try to get this under 10 minutes. I've had some trouble with my camera this morning, so we'll see what we can get out of this. This is my outside garden in the backyard. So in my garden, I have green onions that have come up from last year. Last year I planted these from little seed, or not seed, but from onion starts that I got at Home Depot. I have a row of white, yellow, and red. And they got to be last spring when I planted them, probably about the size of a little bit smaller than a tennis ball. So I did harvest a couple out of here. When I did see that the onion was popping up out of the ground, I came out here and I buried it with more dirt and compost, which apparently is a big mistake. Don't mind me, buddy. You're going to have to excuse the elements here in my neighborhood because something's going on all the time. So I planted them. They grew. I did harvest a couple onions, but then I saw them popping up out of the ground. So because they were popping out of the ground, I covered them with dirt and manure, compost, and then they all died. Like all the greens tipped over, and then that was it. So I got online, I asked a bunch of people, and they said, nope, don't cover them. Well, I screwed that up. So I learned. I left them in the ground over the winter, and they all came back this year. However, inside the at the base of the onion is a onion plant. Obviously it's down there, the bulb. And what I would do is it was wet and mushy, that onion bulb, so I just would kind of wiggle it and I could pull it up over the green of the onion and toss it, and underneath there was another onion coming up. So I did that for all of these onions. And then I'm so happy to see that right before I decided to yank these out of my garden because they're taking up too much real estate, I started developing flower heads. So all of these are starting to go to flower, which I thought was fantastic. So now I will be able to harvest the seeds out of these flowers and be able to grow some onions next year from seed, and I will start them indoors. Underneath these buckets that I have protected is my Okra Seeds. I shot a video on how I developed that little like growing apparatus there, but that's Star of David okra, Clemson spineless, and red burgundy. So I grew a couple different kinds of okra. I've never grown okra, I've never eaten okra, and I'm excited to have it. Over there I have Brussels sprouts. I grew Brussels sprouts last year in this very same garden bed, but they were way too close. They overcrowded and they never gave me Brussels sprouts. Back there I have my peas. Peas along the fence, you can see, are a little bit taller. They're going to grow up the fence. These in the bed in the middle are just sugar snap peas, and then there's some tall ones over there too against the little fence there that can grow up there, and if I need more trellis, I will just string them up some poles. Over there I have green dragon cucumbers. Never grown that variety before, but that variety is a little bit longer, maybe 10 and 12 inches long, and they're about probably that big around. Asparagus has come back again this year. This is its second year. Last year it looked like dill. This year it is now looking a little bit more like asparagus, and so I left that kind of patch open. I don't know if I'll kill it out or not, but apparently asparagus, you can't eat it till your third year anyway. Well, here it is right smack dab in the middle of my bed, which I probably screwed that up. All of my plants along the house here were given to me by friends. My friend Dawn, my sister, gave me all these plants that I put along the bed, or along my house. I lined it with plastic first, and I put mulch on it last year. The mulch, I don't think he gave me as thick as I wanted, but whatever. And then this year they're obviously coming back and they're doing super good. In my little towers here, I did bush green beans. I grew tender green beans along the fence here last year. They're not pole beans. Didn't know that. I planted them very close to the fence in case they wanted to grow, but they did not grow up the fence. They were a bush variety, and they produced tons of green beans, and then I harvested the beans right out of there. So I have one planter there and one planter there full of the green beans. So that's the back garden. And then over here I have a makeshift greenhouse because I grew all my seeds from start indoors, and then when I stepped them up into cups like this, I ran out of space indoors, so I had to bring them outside. So here they are. This is just one of the 3 places in my property that I actually brought all these plants out to harden off. So tons of varieties of tomatoes, eggplant, Brussels sprouts, green peppers, red peppers, orange peppers, yellow peppers. I did a bunch of marigolds from seed from the Dollar General. They sell a box mix. So I just sprinkled them in a tray. Over here, I started strawberries. Very excited about that. And some more strawberries there. There's some zinnias in there. I did a pineapple sage in that bucket there. Very excited about the pineapple sage. These were on sale at Home Depot with the pink flowers. I planted 3 of those in my yard this year. Have no idea how big they're going to get, but we will find out. Here's another pineapple sage here. Oh, my girlfriend Cheryl from work gave me these 2 plants. They look a little wonky right now because of the string, but they do vine up the fence. So I've given them some help and support so that they can grow up the fence there. They grow up the fence and then they bloom white blossoms, but they're just itty bitty right now, and I am watering them, and they have grown substantially since she gave them to me because they were pretty tiny. But I can't wait to see what those turn into. And she said they smell really good. The name of it is skipping me, so I will put that in the next garden video. But here's the flip the table over in the backyard greenhouse. Red peppers out the yazoo. Those are the biggest red pepper plants I've ever seen in cups. I'm glad they're living. More Roma tomatoes, more Brussels sprouts. This whole tray I call a mystery tray because when we stepped them up into these cups, we forgot to mark them. So I don't know if that's broccoli or cauliflower. I have no idea. But we're going to plant it. We're going to see what happens. More Brussels sprouts. Poblano peppers, did not get a lot of those this year, so there's only about 12 plants. Delicious tomato variety back there, and then snapdragon. I've never grown snapdragon. That's right there. Sprinkled those in there from a seed packet. They're really dense in those cells, but it was a first time experience for me, so we're gonna see what happens. Like, as you can see, look how intensely, oh yeah, you can't focus, my camera doesn't work. Well, there's my shoe. Yeah, sorry about that. You don't get to see how densely planted they are, but they are a mess. I love snapdragons. They remind me of my grandma Nora. Hi, butterfly. And no, I did not plant the petunias. I bought those from Ace because they were on sale. I did seed start all these marigolds from the Dollar General. This is under my canopy greenhouse. In here we have more zinnias that the squirrels have destroyed, but hopefully they will last. Who knows? I just gotta pray for them. They'll be fine. Another pineapple sage. I just fell in love with that plant, and I hope that I get tons of hummingbirds and pollinators. More tomato plants, some other greens that I'm going to put in buckets. I love the potato vines. They have a beautiful flower and it attracts big fluffy bumblebees. Pineapple sage, nope, Thai basil and regular basil. I suck at growing herbs, so I have to buy them from the store because I feel then like that I'm not a failure. Back here is my garden bed in the back. Back here, I had to make do with this greenhouse of all of these tomatoes too. These tomatoes I brought outside about 3 weeks ago, and they completely started growing in a whole nother level. They grow when they get in the heat, and inside I did not have heat. I did have the grow lights, obviously, because that's how they got to the stage that they were before I brought them out here. So those are more tomatoes that I have in here. I have my pools that I've planted for, oh my gosh, so many things have been gone in here. I mean, it was still frosting outside. I think we even got some snow, but everything in here is frost hardy. So in this pool, I have canoe pea, Alaska pea, Laxton pea, and sugar snap pea. Have no idea if this is going to work, but I just needed something for them to grab hold of, and they seem to be doing that, which is great. These are little Marvel shelling peas, so these are the peas that you actually grow, and then you take the pea out of the pod. I can't wait to try those because I love cooking with peas, and we'll see how difficult that is to produce them. Is that what it's called? Process them, get them out of the shell. Over here I have my kales. I have, I think this is some salad bowl lettuce. This is blue curled Scotch kale here in the middle. Back there I have dinosaur kale. Over here I have bistro lettuce. And then over here I have salad bowl lettuce. In this lovely bucket here, I have some lovely weeds. This, I have some red lettuce and some salad bowl lettuce. And over here I have beets here, lettuce here, carrots here, and radishes back there. Down here I have more radishes here, more radishes here. Those are, I think they're working. I hate growing radishes because I always screw them up. Salad bowl lettuce, more carrots, and obviously more peppers. I have them out here in the sun and in the wind so they can harden off. I guess the more the wind blows, it makes them stronger. And then here in my Aldi greenhouses, I have all these plants here. And I actually just put my hot peppers. This one right here is called a Violet Sparkle. But look, they ain't even coming over the top of the cup yet. A little disappointed in them because these peppers were planted at the same time these jalapenos were planted. But these peppers and these cayenne peppers and these jalapeno peppers don't want to grow. So I don't know what the deal is. I used all the same growing medium and everything. So if you guys have any tips or pointers for me, please put them in the comments below because I don't know. I'm not an expert on peppers, but it just blows my mind that I can put them in the same cup, in the same soil, and water them the same, under the same lighting, and they won't grow. Down there we have early jalapenos in that big tray along the bottom. But I put everything in the greenhouses today because we're going to get some pretty bad storms. But I'll put these on the shelves under my canopy on my patio later on today after they get some sun. So I just wanted to share with you the garden tour here in the backyard. And let's go to the front. I have repurposed some raised garden beds out of rubber tires that I found on the side of the road. I found a friend of mine on Facebook that had a truck that could bring these to me, and I actually shot a video on how I planted these and set these up. So I planted only flowers in these tire beds this year because I don't think you should grow vegetables in something that's toxic like a tire. But as you can see, in this little thing, that is that circle has a sunflower in it. And then I actually sprinkled the mix from Dollar General through this entire bed. So that is not weeds, that's actual flowers. Those little bitty tiny green things. Same thing over there. And then I also put in here tubers that were gladiolas, stargazers, and some other stuff. I don't know the names of them, but there's a bunch of tubers in these beds. And look at that. It's coming up. That's coming up. That's coming up. No idea what it is because I didn't mark them in the beds. Let's go over here. I have a robin visiting my flower bed. Same thing with these beds. I sprinkled them with the seed mix on the top, but I also put a bunch of my tubers in there. And they need water, but we're going to get a ton of rain today. But let me tell you how excited I am about that. I've never grown sunflowers, and look at this. It's a little sunflower. Still got the little shell on him. I'm going to just leave them. Oh, yeah, I planted 2 in each little cup. This is a tuber of some sort. It's coming up. I can't wait. I can't wait for the gladiolas to come up. I put those in the center. But I cannot tell you how excited I am about this. Sunflowers. These are the mammoth sunflowers. These are the ones that get like 7 or 8 feet tall. Here's some more over here. So, those are my flower beds that I did this year with my tire beds. That's something that's new for me this year. I've never grown flowers at all, ever. So I've only done vegetables and stuff that comes back every year, like all of those along the house. So I wanted to share with you my garden tour because I like to vlog in a diary of where things are and what things are looking like at my house. And I hope you enjoyed my video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know below. I'd be happy to respond as much as I can, and I hope to do this video at least once a week, and hopefully it'll be less distracting with cars and scooters and dogs barking. That's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I wish you the best of luck in your gardening adventures, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks!